from the WYLN studios in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. WYLN Evening Edition at 5:30 starts right now.
Good evening. It's Monday, November 2nd, 2015. I'm Ann Gownley. A Freeland man had his preliminary hearing this afternoon in Sugarloaf after police say he and his girlfriend abused her 12-year-old son. 27-year-old Robert Velez is charged with felony counts of child endangerment and aggravated assault. The boy's mother, 33-year-old Julie Barron, is charged with child endangerment. According to police, Barron went to the police station on May 29th to report that her son never got off the school bus that day. 15 minutes later, Barron and the boy went to the police station because she wanted them to talk with him about his behavior. The boy told police once his mother was out of the room that his mother and her boyfriend would abuse him. According to the boy, he stole $20 from his mother, and as punishment, he would have to sit on the wall until his legs would give out, and when he fell, he would be forced to do sit-ups. If he didn't do them correctly, Velez would throw him against a wall and grab him by his throat. Children and youth are involved in this case. Both are behind bars at the Luzerne County Prison, unable to post bail. More gunshots in the city of Hazleton. The shots were heard just after 2 o'clock Monday morning in the area of 3rd and Mongees Street. According to police, approximately 12 gunshots were fired in the street. Anyone with information on this incident is asked to call Hazleton Police at 570-459-4940 or dial 911. Hazleton police say they are investigating a home invasion where 4 or 5 suspects entered a home armed with long guns and handguns. According to police, the incident occurred around 10 o'clock Sunday night at a home in the 600 block of North Vine Street. Police say the suspects told everyone in the home to be quiet while they looked for items. There was no indication that anyone was injured. Anyone with information is asked to call police in Hazleton or dial 911. Police in Hazleton are on the lookout for a juvenile male accused of pointing a handgun at a victim and stealing his white iPhone 5C. According to police, the incident happened on Sunday around 9 o'clock at night at the intersection of West 6th Street and Lafayette Court. The victim told police that a black male with facial hair who was wearing a white jacket forcibly took his phone. The suspect pointed a black-colored handgun at the victim and then fled west on West 5th Street. Anyone with information is asked to call Hazleton Police by dialing 911. An attempted robbery at Domino's Pizza at the corner of 15th and Church Streets is being investigated by Hazleton Police. Police say it happened just before 3:30 in the afternoon on Sunday. A male suspect wearing a dark clothing entered the store and demanded money from the register. He fled on foot and got into a silver Honda Odyssey minivan that sped off west on 15th Street at a high rate of speed. Anyone with information is asked to call police by dialing 911. Flames destroyed a garage in Hazleton Sunday morning. Firefighters were called to a garage on West Spruce Street near Linden Court just before 2 a.m. When emergency crews arrived on scene, the fire had already spread to a utility pole in front of the garage, and it was melting the telephone and cable lines, cutting off customer services. 4 vehicles were dragged out of the structure while the garage was still on fire. The center beams became compromised from the flames, and it took firefighters a while to extinguish the fire due to the contents inside the garage's ceiling. Deputy Fire Chief Sean Jones said the fire is still under investigation. The body of a Wilkes-Barre man who went missing from a nursing home 8 weeks ago has been found in a wooded area dead. Luzerne County Deputy Coroner Tom Moran said 78-year-old Andrew Walgo's body was found around 8 a.m. Sunday behind a home on Court Street in a densely wooded area. No autopsy is scheduled due to the advanced decomposition of the body. Police do not believe his death is suspicious. Walgo was last seen on September 4th at the Riverview Ridge Assisted Living Center on Courtright Street in Wilkes-Barre. He also suffered from several illnesses, including dementia, Alzheimer's disease, and Parkinson's disease. Search parties led by the Wilkes-Barre and Plains Township Fire Departments began looking for him shortly after his disappearance. Jury selection got underway today in the double murder trial of James Roach. 33-year-old Roach is charged with the homicide of 73-year-old Ronald Evans and his son, 43-year-old Jeffrey Evans, at their home in Hunlock Township back in April of 2014. According to prosecutors, his girlfriend, 40-year-old Holly Crawford, was prostituting herself to the elder Evans for gifts and cash. Crawford was convicted of first-degree murder in the case last month after being accused of convincing Roach to kill her the elder Evans. She faces life in prison. Luzerne County Judge Fred Parentoni will preside over the case that is expected to last all week. One of 3 Catholic churches officially closed in Frackville Sunday morning. St. Joseph's Roman Catholic Church locked its doors for the last time following its 11:30 Mass after serving the parish community for 102 years. St. Joseph's opening dedication liturgy was back on May 18th of 1913. St. Joseph's Parish was founded in 1909 and in 2013 merged with St. Anne's and Annunciation BVM parishes, forming St. Joseph's the Worker Parish. Running 3 Catholic churches became a financial burden. The Parish Finance Committee, along with Father Robert Finlan and advisory councils, continued to study the financial situation St. Joseph's was facing. Father Finlan reported that the 44-year-old boiler in St. Joseph's Church failed its inspection in June, and an estimated replacement cost for it was nearly $50,000. Additional things such as structural, mechanical, and electrical costs also came into play, with a grand total of nearly $860,000 in repairs. Continuing to save costs for heating in the winter, St. Joseph's Parish will hold Sunday Mass at St. Anne's Church. Approximately 167,427 pounds of ground beef products are being pulled from the shelves after All American Meats Incorporated from Omaha, Nebraska said they may have been alterated with E. coli. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food and Safety and Inspection Service made the announcement on Sunday. The ground beef items that were produced on October 16th of this year are subject to recall. Those products are up on your screen now. The problem was discovered on October 30th when a positive result for E. coli from FSIS in Commerce Surveillance Program testing was traced back to the establishment. However, there have been no confirmed reports of adverse reactions. E. coli is a potentially deadly bacterium, and the company is concerned that some of those products may be frozen in consumers' freezers. They should be thrown away or returned to the place of purchase. Well, it's time now for a first look at our forecast. Another week, and this time it looks like warmer temperatures and sunshine. Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbachik's in the Weather Center with the details. Joe, is it true? Can we expect those warmer temperatures?
Sure thing. Definitely looking nice as we head through the rest of this week with temperatures well above where we should be for this time of year. No precipitation though to deal with across our area. It continues to remain dry northeastern and central PA. Down toward the south, some precipitation. But for our area, we continue to stay dry. We'll stay dry as we head through this evening and through the overnight hours. Take a look at these temperatures. Generally up into the 60s today. You can't get much better temperature-wise for this time of year. 57 now in Berwick, 58 in Bloomsburg, and 58 degrees in Danville. A complete 7-day forecast coming up in just a few. Ann?
Thanks, Joe. Coming up next, Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazelton had a big announcement for the community this morning, and tonight we'll have all the details. Plus, tomorrow is Election Day, but do you know who you'll be voting for? Our Gary Perna has a look at the ballot and who's running for what office. Stay tuned. That and much more coming up here on WYLN.
You're watching WYLN News with Ann Gownley, Gary Perna, Julie Stefanovich, Paula Degnan, Chief Videographer Mike Lula, Weather with meteorologist Joe Garbachik, Sports with Eric DeBerardinis and Gabriella Justin.
Family owned and operated, the experienced professionals at Lehigh Tire have served the residents of the greater Hazelton area for over 55 years. From our full line of passenger, light truck, and commercial tires to our automotive services, including tune-ups, inspections, oil changes, and alignments.
Every time I've ever done business here, they've been very polite, straightforward, and the job gets done quickly and right.
Find the right tire for the right price today at Lehigh Tire.
On Friday, November 6th, the LSC Wiltsey Performing Arts Center will present Elvis Lives On, starring Nick Musician. Nick portrays Elvis through all the stages of his dynamic career, from the hip-swinging 50s and 60s to the thrilling 68 comeback special and the unforgettable 70s Vegas years. Nick does it all. He's got the look, the moves, the voice that will take you back in time. Doors open at 6:30 and showtime is 7 p.m. Tickets are $5 each. Elvis Lives On, Friday, November 6th at the Wiltsey Center.
Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton became an official Level 4 trauma center as of today, November 1st. WYLN's Julie Stefanovich has more on the story.
A press conference was held earlier today to announce that Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton has been accredited as a Level 4 trauma center by the Pennsylvania Trauma Systems Foundation. The hospital has the resources to provide immediate care and reduce the likelihood of death or disability to patients. It was all made possible through dedication and teamwork.
Yes, this is a very important recognition for Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton in becoming a Level 4 trauma center. It really sets the bar higher for this hospital and its care of injured patients. Every emergency department at a regular hospital in Pennsylvania can care for minor injured patients, but now that they've achieved Level 4 accreditation, the bar is now set higher and they can deliver an advanced care to trauma patients through their protocols, through their education, and through the timeliness of care they will now be providing.
Hazleton is now one of 3 Level 4 centers in the state. The process takes several years to become eligible for the accreditation.
We are so pleased that we received this accreditation. It means so much for our community. And we're so thankful for both our local leadership as well as individuals from Lehigh Valley Health Network. We work together as a team in order to receive this accreditation as a Level 4 trauma center. The medevac individuals, our EMS personnel, this was just a collaboration of so many teams put together. In order for us to become a Level 4 trauma center, we needed to have that teamwork. And I'm so proud of what we've been able to accomplish.
We spoke with Trauma Program Medical Director Gary Bonfonte to get a physician's perspective on this achievement.
So we actually will see all types of injuries that are brought to this hospital. That can include anything from a motor vehicle crash to a fall to gunshot wound or stabbing. EMS has frequently brought any of those patients to our facility, and they could be stabilized here, sometimes cared for here, and other times they're stabilized and transferred. Well, they always speak of the golden hour, so yes, time is a factor. So the more rapidly we can get these patients here, the more rapidly we can assess them and care for them and get them to the most appropriate designation, whether it be right here or at the Level 1. Yes, that's crucial.
To find out more information on the Lehigh Valley Health Network and all of its services, you can visit lvhn.org. In Hazleton for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thank you, Julie. Coming up next, Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik is back with a full look at our forecast. Stay tuned.
It can happen over time or in a snap. If joint or muscle pain has taken you out of the game, we can identify the root cause of your problem and develop a sport-specific treatment plan to get you moving again. Over 400 medical experts strong, the region's only nationally ranked program. That's Orthopedics in Action at Lehigh Valley Health Network.
Her office has handled over 17,000 cases. This past year, she saved taxpayers $270,000. Under her leadership, there's been a 100% criminal homicide conviction rate. She saw a flaw in the law benefiting hit-and-run drivers and petitioned legislators to pass Kevin's Law. And thousands of members of law enforcement organizations have unanimously endorsed her.
Please vote on November 3rd so I may continue working hard for you.
Combined Insurance makes it easy to protect you and your loved ones by paying cash directly to you when you need it most. Whether you're looking for accident and sickness, disability, or life coverage, Combined Insurance has a policy to meet your needs and fit your budget. Call John Ravello, 570-499-0504 for an appointment to help determine the best coverage for you. That's John Ravello, 570-499-0504.
Well, definitely delightful day across our area today, even yesterday. In fact, the next couple of days looking very nice temperature-wise, with temperatures being above where we should be for this time of year. And it looks like it should remain dry. Here's a look at the graphic for the day, and high pressure building in. That's allowing us to see the sunshine, a few clouds around, and just a spectacular day to be outdoors. In fact, this whole entire week looking like it should be very nice to enjoy the great outdoors of Pennsylvania. Live 35 Skycast Doppler, nothing to show you across our area. It continues to remain dry, and that'll be the case as we head right through this evening. 50 degrees, our live Lehigh Tire conditions outside our station in Hazleton, and again, the winds practically non-existent, just a little bit of a breeze from time to time. 54 now, Mount Pocono, 59, Wilkes-Barre Scranton International Airport, 56 in Selinsgrove, and 61 in State College, 65 in Pittsburgh up in the Wyoming Valley area. Temperatures continue to remain in the upper 50s to near 60 degrees. Again, really not much of a wind or breeze, just a tad, if you will, at best. Some precipitation down toward the south, but really not impacting our weather whatsoever. We just got a couple of clouds across northeastern Pennsylvania, but that is about it. We'll stay dry as we head through tonight, as we go into tomorrow for Election Day, looking very nice. Temperatures above average, and we'll see sunshine, a few clouds around, and it will stay dry. Very nice for our Tuesday. Tonight, generally dropping down into the 40s. Tomorrow, we're up into the 60s. Some areas may be near 70 degrees. 40s again as we head into tomorrow night, and waking up early Wednesday morning. Temperature should be near 50 degrees. So we'll be looking at temperatures a good 5, 10, 15 or so above where we should be for this time of year as we head into tomorrow. In fact, as we head into the next couple of days, oh, it's going to feel very nice. It's going to feel more like a September, if you will. All the cool weather is going to be out toward the west, and the warmth will be toward the east. So we'll be enjoying the warm weather as we head into the next couple of days. Extended forecast looking like this. Nice for tomorrow in the 60s, even warmer as we go into Wednesday, mid to upper 60s, holding in the 60s for Thursday and Friday, maybe a passing shower for Friday, and then gets a little bit cooler for Saturday, and then by Sunday and Monday of next week, we're back in the 40s for daytime highs. Our daytime Pennsylvania lottery numbers: the pick 2, 5, 4, the pick 3, 7, 3, 5, and the pick 4 numbers 8, 2, 7, 5. Pick 5 numbers looking like this: 1, 4, 2, 2, 4, and the treasure hunt numbers 2, 4, 16, 18, and 20. Stick around. We'll have more for you coming up after this break.
Jack Mundy has reigned on City Council like a king for 14 years and wants to be mayor. But we need a new blueprint for Hazleton, and a mayor with vision, new ideas and solutions. A man with a plan who will work with council, business leaders and residents to achieve progress for Hazleton now.
Hi, I'm Jeff Cassett, and I want to be your next mayor of Hazleton.
It's time to stop King Jack in his tracks and free our city from the political dark ages. Vote Cassett.
There is something new to look for at your local Sure Save supermarket. And quite frankly, when it comes to quality and price for your food, it's the best yet. The best yet means hundreds of items packaged at the peak of perfection and priced for the family budget. Look for the best yet label at your locally owned Sure Save supermarket. When you see it, be assured of the great taste at a great price whenever you need it. From canned to fresh to frozen, for quality products at a better price. The best yet, now at your local Sure Save supermarket.
Did you know that suicide rates are on the rise in Luzerne and Wyoming counties? Did you know that over 100 Americans commit suicide every day? And did you know that you can help prevent suicide? I'm Jeffrey Waugh, and I'm here to tell you there is help. If you or someone you know is depressed, dial 800-273-TALK or the emergency helpline at 211. For more information and suicide prevention tips, visit any of these websites. Together, we can save lives.
Tomorrow is the big day, and the candidates are making that final push to be elected. Tonight, Gary Perna runs down the list that we're following.
Tomorrow is Election Day, and there are a lot of races going on in our area. We'll start with probably the biggest race that we're seeing this year. That's for Hazleton Mayor. Republican Jeff Cassett is facing off against Democrat Jack Mundy and Independent Scott Cahalan. All of them say they are the best leader to move Hazleton forward. This race is probably the most contested race that we've seen in a while in Hazleton. All three say that they are going to turn the city around and have plans to make it a better place to live. Also in this city, there are 2 seats up on city council. Democrat incumbent Jean Mope is running for a second term. She's the only incumbent running for another term. Joining her on the Democratic ticket is Robert Gavio. On the Republican side, John Keegan is running along with Rocco Formica, moving to the Hazleton Area School Board. Vinnie Zola is teamed up with Robert Fume. Marie Kay, Jackie Scarcella, and Tony Bonomo are running as a team as well. All 5 have cross-filed. There are 4 people running on the independent ticket: Dr. Robert Childs, Lori Lawson, and Casey Hermstein. All have teamed up. Also running on the independent ticket is Thomas Chirico. Over to West Hazleton, there are 5 people vying for 4 council seats: Thomas Nemeth, James Kalaga, John Chura, Charles Cortia, and Louis Pacelli. Down to Sugarloaf Township, where longtime supervisor Jack Whitting is facing off against challenger Shannon LaRock. Luzerne County District Attorney Stephanie Salavantis is running for a second term in office. She is facing off against Vito DeLuca. To Schuylkill County, where a bunch of row offices are up, where County Commissioners George Halkovich and Frank Stoudemire are running on the Republican ticket. On the Democrat side, incumbent Gary Hess is running with Joe Devine. County Treasurer is up, and for the first time in over 20 years, the Treasurer will go to someone different. Treasurer Jackie McGovern decided not to run. The Republican running this time is Linda Marchuk from Tamaqua. She is facing off against Brett Clark. The Clerk of Court's office will see a new face after the scandal that rocked it. Republican Marie Casey is running against Kathy Mahon. Up to McAdoo, where there are 4 seats up on council. Democrat and incumbent Marion Dembalco is running with 3 other mates, and Dan Gallagher, Peter Manisi, and John Dembalco. On the Republican side, incumbents Mary Labert and William Solovic are teaming up with Ed Beelan and Danny Borchik. Remember, polls open tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. and they close at 8 p.m. And of course, WYLN will have all the election results for you, like no one else can. Gary Perna, WYLN News.
Thank you, Gary. Well, as Gary just said, tomorrow is Election Day, and WYLN is proud to announce that we have the most diverse, opinionated, and well-known group of political figures for this year's live local election coverage. The election panel will be led by Tiffany Cloud, host of WYLN's The Storm, the area's leading political talk show. Cloud will be joined by returning panelist attorney Bill Vinsko, who has long been a fixture in the area and political scene for years. New to the panel this time is Bob Stevens, who held numerous positions within local government, including a term on Hazleton City Council. Also new to the panel, Charlie Burkhart, who has served on Hazleton City Council. Of course, WYLN's Gary Perna, Eric DeBerardinis, Gabriella Justin, and myself, along with the rest of the team, will be out in the field covering various races. So make sure you tune into WYLN tomorrow, November 3rd, beginning at 8 p.m. Coming up next, Eric DeBerardinis is in with sports here on WYLN. Stay tuned.
Who is Scott Cahalan?
I'm Scott Cahalan, independent candidate for Hazleton City Mayor. I've been to war. I'm not afraid to do what it takes to clean up the criminal element in our city. To the criminals out there, your time is up. I pledge not to run for re-election. I'm focused on tackling the tough stuff, not on politics as usual. I'll communicate with you about what's really happening in the city. You can vote for one of the other 2 who helped get the city into this mess, or you can vote Cahalan for mayor.
Sports on WYLN is sponsored in part by Burger Family Dealerships, Harry's View Pullet, Fairway Chevrolet, Penn State Hazleton, Barber Ford, The Wire Guys, Tri-County Business Machines, Weatherwood Nursing, Hazel Park Quality Meats, John Diana Insurance, Mobility by Steven, Service Electric, Hazleton, S.J. Kowalski, Plumbing and Heating, Coordinated Health, Grand Central, and Third Base Luncheonette.
The winningest coach in Pennsylvania high school football history coached his final regular season game on Friday. We were at Berwick as George Curry was honored as a part of a night labeled Curry Strong.
The reason Berwick football wins is because of George Curry.
On Friday night, Berwick Bulldogs head coach George Curry won his final regular season home game in front of over 200 of his former players. It was a meaningful victory and just another achievement after 4 decades of them.
A little town of 10,000 people who has 3 national championships, multiple state champions, and tens of millions of dollars in scholarship money.
Crispin Field is decorated with proof of those accomplishments, but the proof of Curry's success also comes in the form of the people his players have went on to become.
You have doctors, you have lawyers, you have professional athletes, you have great fathers.
Great guy, great person to be around, great coach. He dedicated his whole life to making everybody in Berwick a better person, good players, and he's done a lot for the community.
So on Friday, the community gave back. Alumni told stories of their glory days, current players put on a show, and youngsters that will never play for Curry showcased their skills. Gary Bankus played quarterback for the Dogs in the 1970s, Chaz Fedorko in the 80s, and Ron Paulus in the 1990s. They all credit George Curry for their success on and off the football field.
Do your job, everything will be great.
There are times we didn't like him because he was pretty tough on us, but I think you could see how we all respect him.
More than anything, Coach Curry gave you confidence to believe you could win, to believe you could succeed on and off the field, and that's really the kind of thing that is special when you walk away.
We don't know when the end will come for Berwick football this season, but when it does, George Curry will walk away from the game after having made an impact on hundreds of football games, but more importantly, hundreds of lives. So Berwick beats Coughlin 20-6. The Bulldogs' next opponent, Hazelton, hosting Daniel Boone on Friday in WYLN's Game of the Week. A super impressive performance throughout by the Cougars against a playoff team from 2014 with Hazelton hosting Daniel Boone on Friday. Here Carson Kinney tucks that ball and chugs along the sideline all the way down inside the 5. You got to give the opportunity to him to finish what he started, and Hazelton does. Kinney plows in for 6 and the early lead. A developing connection for the Cougars Sparky Wolk to Jose Cabrera. They have that sense for each other on the deep ball as they do there. Cabrera secures inside the 10 as Hazelton dominates to the tune of a 35-0 victory. Here Adrian Otero picks up his own fumble, just that kind of night. Cougars improved to 4-5 on the season. Stay tuned. Coming up, Joe Garbacik is in with a final look at the forecast.
4 years ago, D.A. Salavantis promised to end corruption, yet she dismissed in secret over 36 valid DUI charges. In one case, a woman over 2 times the limit told police she was filthy rich and knew people. Her case was tossed twice by Salavantis, once after the case was refiled by police. One offender almost ran over 2 police officers and another hit a house. 3 were tossed for offenders represented by lawyers affiliated with her first assistance law firm. Luzerne County needs real change. Vito DeLuca for District Attorney.
Join us this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. The topic is sleep, how to get a good night's of it, and if you don't, what it can do to your body. Dr. John and Dr. Stacy have some great tips, both in habits and some supplements that you could try that'll help you get a good night's rest. That's coming up this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. Join us.
Well, this nice weather is going to stick around for at least the next several days with dry conditions and temperatures above where we should be for this time of year. So take advantage of it while it lasts, because we know this is short-lived, because officially we're in fall and winter, unfortunately, is just around the corner. But this week, it's not even going to feel like fall. It's going to feel pretty nice, in fact. Temperatures well in the 60s, some areas near 70, maybe even the lower 70s, some areas for Wednesday, and then gets much cooler going into early next week, back into the 40s.
All right, well, Doesn't look too bad, I guess. It's
No,
a nice
we'll take
week.
it.
How does that happen? 70s in November now?
Hey, it's happened before. I'm sure it'll happen again.
Joe's all smiles about it, so
I
am
got
I.
no
So
complaints.
I think your Friday night's looking pretty
Well,
good.
I'm peeking down the line. I saw maybe showers, but
A shower, maybe.
Okay, a shower. Okay.
If we're lucky, that's it. So.
All right, well, we'll take this week as we see it on your 7-day forecast. Thanks, Joe. And hopefully those showers move out before Friday night football. Have a good night, everyone.